Hi everybody, today we're going to teach you how to peel a tomato, and this can also be used for other stone fruits like a plum, apricot, peach. So what you'll need is a bowl of ice, boiling water, something to pull your tomatoes out, or your plum, a knife, and a tomato shark. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to core out the tomato, and if you don't have one of these, you can use a paring knife or even your chef knife. You can use the heel of it. Just using it, being careful not to slip and cut yourself. And that's removed. So now I'm going to go ahead and score the bottom of the tomato. Try not to go too deep. I just want to get into the skin. If you go too deep, it's going to cook the tomato more than what we want. So the purpose of doing this is, like, say if I want to do a tomato pasta with garlic, basil. As it cooks, it's going to release the skin, and the skin's going to pull off, and it's not very appetizing to eat the skin alone. Whereas, if you're making a fresh pico de gallo, you'll want to leave the skin on there. So we're going to go ahead and drop our tomatoes in the water. And we're going to let that cook for about 30 seconds. Just depends on the ripeness of the tomatoes, but you'll see the skin start to release. But sometimes it'll take up to a minute. And so while that's cooking, I'm going to grab my paring knife just in case we need it for peeling. Pull it out and just see. So it is starting to peel away. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the ice. And so if the tomato's a little warm, it will make it easier to peel than a fully chilled tomato. And so you don't ever want to do more than like 3 of these at a time, just because the tomatoes can get away from you and overcook. And then also they'll chill off too much and make it harder to peel. So I'm just using my fingernail here. As you can see, it's still maybe not peeling as easy as what it could. So you can use your paring knife and get the skin against the blade, and then use it to pull away. So this isn't peeling too bad, but if it is more difficult than this, drop it back in the water and cook it for an additional amount of time. So the X is there, as we can see, it makes it easier to lift that up and out of there. If we didn't have the X, it doesn't give us a place to start peeling. And then also, if you tear it, you can come around to the edge where we cored it, and that'll give us another place to start. All right, so now that we have this peeled, I'm going to show you how to seed it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. And then over a trash can or a sink, it is a messy job, but I'm just going to gently squeeze and flick my wrist to get the seeds out. Being careful not to crush it, because I want to keep the tomato firm and whole. And if it's still not coming out, you can take a spoon or use your finger to pull out some of the seeds. I don't want to rinse it because it's going to wash away that tomato flavor. And so the purpose of this is just to have a nicer product. It's a little easier to eat. It's more appealing, and a pasta. And so that is tomato concasse.